Thank you. This, of course, an issue that stretches far beyond the border as GOP leaders visited El Paso in the western part of the state. Nearly 800 miles southeast in Donna, Texas, at least 1,000 children and teens are living in tents as the U.S. government announced that more than 3,000 migrant teens will be taken to a convention center in downtown Dallas. Border reporter Sandra Sanchez is live for us there tonight. Sandra, you've been following this issue very closely right there on the border for years. Give us a picture of the situation right now on the ground. And I specifically want to talk about what Joe was discussing with kids being detained. Some are raising concerns about these facilities. What can you tell us about the conditions of these facilities, and are they equipped to handle this many children and teens?
Right. Thanks for having me this evening. To your question, no, the facilities are not equipped to handle the children, which is why FEMA, the Federal Emergency Management Agency, is here on the ground working shoulder to shoulder with officers from the Customs and Border Protection Agency to try to process these children. I have been told that they are going to be sorted by priorities. They are going to see if there are 4 tiers. If the child has a parent or a guardian legally in the United States, that's tier 1. And then it goes down to a sibling or a distant relative like a cousin, or if they have no one here. And if they have no one here, then it's incumbent upon the federal government to try to find a sponsor for them, like through a nonprofit or an NGO or a faith-based organization. But they are coming. We see them coming in rafts. They're riding old tires across the Rio Grande, and they're crossing almost always with children, because if they have children with them, they have a greater chance of staying in this country.
Sandra, I know you recently visited a detention center in Carrizo Springs, Texas. Walk us through what you saw there in terms of the conditions they're facing, how these children are being taken care of.
Well, actually, I didn't go to the center. They're not allowing reporters in the center, but U.S. Senator John Cornyn, a Republican, and Congressman Henry Cuellar, a Texas Democrat, both Texans, visited the facility on Friday, and then they held a news conference in Laredo where they talked about it. There are 952 beds at this facility, and it costs the federal government $800 per bed, and they have to pay for all the beds whether they're full or not. So that comes to over $760,000 per day that we're paying. I'm told that the kids are, quote, not held in cages. Congressman Cuellar, who is vice chairman of the House Appropriations Subcommittee on Homeland Security, really stressed that point. Senator Cornyn said that they are well cared for. There is an exercise facility. Of course, they get meals. They live in a dorm-like atmosphere. They're separated by gender and ages, but they're also given schooling. But it's not the ideal situation. Obviously, they want to find these children. They want to connect these children with friends or relatives or someone who really could take care of them, clear up the bed space, because more children keep coming.
Any idea, Sandra, how long that will take to process them, get them to a safe place where someone can take care of them?
Today, Congressman Cuellar said he's seeing statistics that the children are staying anywhere from 21 days to 237 days. So there's a huge spectrum. And I believe that the ones that are staying the longest are simply because they don't have any sponsors in the United States. Now, as you know, President Biden wants to resurrect an Obama-era program called the Central American Minors Program, CAM for short. And that would help to pair children up with their parents or their guardians before they make the dangerous trek north, before they ride the train called La Bestia north, and they risk all the dangers that are associated with it. That program was set to start today, and so we expect federal officials are working internationally. The State Department is managing that program, and so we expect to hear that hopefully more children get the message not to travel alone.